Now to officially start our meeting, Commissioner Batchelor, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on our agenda this morning is approval of the regular session minutes of April 14th, 2021. Board, we have received these in advance. Are there any corrections or any needed changes? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
I'll
sorry.
move to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Do I have a second, please?
Yes, I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. We have two proclamations this morning. Good morning. We have Karen Spradlin this morning on Zoom with us, joining us today. And this is a proclamation for the National Therapy Animal Day. Whereas there are thousands of pet partners, therapy animal teams serving in communities across the United States, and whereas Pet Partners has designated April 30th as National Therapy Animal Day, and whereas Pet Partners therapy animal teams in the town of Cincinnati and surrounding counties play an essential role in improving human health and well-being through the animal bond, and whereas Pet Partners therapy animal teams make millions of visits per year in settings such as hospitals, nursing homes, schools, and hospice. And whereas Pet Partners therapy animal teams interact with a variety of people in our community, including veterans, seniors, patients, students facing literacy challenges, and those approaching the end of life. And whereas these exceptional therapy animals who partner with their human companions bring comfort and healing to those in need. And whereas these exceptional therapy animals who partner with the human companions bring comfort and healing to those in need, now therefore it be it proclaimed that we, the Board of the Clermont County Commissioners, do hereby declare April 30th, 2021 as National Therapy Animal Day in Clermont County, Ohio, and encourage our citizens to celebrate our therapy animals and their human handlers. Further, we publicly salute the service of therapy animal teams in our community and across the nation. Karen, this is brought to you by myself, Claire B. Corcoran, President of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, David L. Painter, Vice President, and Bonnie J. Batchelor, who was our member. We thank you for your service to our community, and I just have a little heads up for you. We also have a team member, Holly, here, who during COVID took her alpacas to nursing homes to stand outside the windows to let people see them. Probably the biggest dogs they ever saw, believe me. But thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you for your service, and Holly, to yours. Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us this morning. Our second proclamation today, we have Gary Knapp. Are you with us this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us. Our second proclamation is a proclamation the year of Ulysses S. Grant, January 1st, 2021 through April 27th, 2022, whereas Ulysses S. Grant was born in Point Pleasant, Clermont County, Ohio on April 27th, 1822, and whereas Ulysses S. Grant graduated from U.S. Military Academy at West Point in 1843, and whereas Ulysses S. Grant appointed Colonel of the 21st Illinois Volunteer Infantry at the beginning of the Civil War, and subsequently rose through the ranks to become the General-in-Chief of the Union Army. In the process, he won the battles of Fort Donelson, Shiloh, the Vicksburg Campaign, Missionary Ridge, Lookout Mountain, and Petersburg, culminating in the surrender of the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia as a Potomac's Courthouse on April 9, 1865. And whereas Ulysses S. Grant has been hailed for his magnanimity towards the defeated Confederate Army, and that he permitted General Robert E. Lee to retain his sword. allowed the Confederate soldier to keep his horse for spring plowing, forbade his men from mocking the defeated Southern soldier, and opened his food stores to feed General Lee's men. And whereas Ulysses S. Grant, his generosity, is credited by historians for saving the country from 5 years of guerrilla warfare, and whereas Ulysses S. Grant was elected as the 18th President of the United States of America in 1868 and was reelected in 1872, and whereas Ulysses S. Grant is recognized as America's first civil rights president for his efforts supporting the passage of the 15th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, giving African American men the right to vote, and for using the U.S. Army and the federal court system to defeat the Ku Klux Klan. And whereas Ulysses S. Grant contributed greatly to the well-being of the nation, becoming the first president to use arbitration to resolve international diplomatic controversy. And he repaired relations between the United States and Great Britain, stabilized the American economy, preparing it for the tremendous expansion during the last quarter of the 19th century, and signed legislation creating Yellowstone National Park, the first national park in world history. And whereas Ulysses S. Grant, best-selling memoirs completed just before his death, is considered by historians to be among the best military memoirs ever written. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Clermont County Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim that the period between January 1st, 2021 and April 27, 2022 be known as the year of Ulysses S. Grant in Clermont County, Ohio, and strongly encourage our residents to celebrate the life and accomplishments of our favorite son. And this is signed by Claire B. Corcoran, myself as president, David L. Painter as your vice president, and Bonnie J. Batchelor as your member. And we thank you for being with us on Zoom this morning, both of you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll make sure we get the
Thank you.
proclamations to you. Thank you. Our next item on the agenda, this brings us to item E. We have a presentation this morning by the Community Alternative Sentencing Center. Do we have Alicia Fine with us this morning?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hoping I'm going to share my screen for you. Just 1 second. Let me make sure that works. Can you all see that? Yes. Okay, great. So good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us today. My name is Alicia Fine. I am the Vice President of Clermont County Behavioral Health Services with Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health. We are the organization that works in partnership to manage and run the program. I want to do a quick shout out to thank Karen Shera from the Mental Health and Recovery Board for also attending today and support, and Jamie Lutzen from Clermont County Probation. We work so closely with the group of us, probation, the court system, the mental health board. We just really appreciate them coming today and supporting the conversation. So I'm going to kick us off, and then Sarah Codris, I want to introduce her. Say hello, Sarah.
Hi, everyone.
Sarah's going to do some parts of the presentation today. She is our program manager, and she's been running CASC for about 2 years now. And so I want to give her an opportunity to give you some deep insight into the program and some of what the things that she's doing. So with that, Sarah, I'm going to let you go ahead and get us started.
Oh, that sounds great. So yeah, it's nice to be here with everyone. So yeah, the CAST program, I've been kind of looking forward to sharing with everyone. So we are an outpatient treatment program. We provide comprehensive behavioral program have a substance use disorder, and many of our clients also have mental health, co-occurring mental health disorder as well. And then just really quickly, a couple of like logistics of the program. Our clients are with us anywhere from 5 days to 90 days. And we have a men's unit and a women's unit. Our men's unit, the maximum capacity is 25 males, and the women, we have a maximum capacity of 12 females. Right now, we have 22 males and 10 women in our program currently. So we were, doing pretty good on that front. So some of the services that we provide, so we do have group counseling. We have an intensive outpatient group that runs. It is cognitive behavioral therapy based and also trauma informed. And so we use the Thinking for a Change curriculum for a lot of those groups. And then we also have educational groups as well that we run. So we do different topics. Those are on a kind of a rotating basis. So like just for example, we do like a trauma education group. One that we always have running is about healthy relationships and communication. So that we find that one to be a really important group to have available for people. We have like emotional regulation, distress tolerance groups. We do a meditation yoga group every morning with each unit. We find that can be really helpful with kind of waking everyone up and getting them ready for our outpatient groups or our intensive outpatient groups. We have anger management, parenting, gambling education, smoking cessation. So we do have a bunch of different topics. The other big piece of our treatment is our individual counseling. So every client that's with us gets at least one individual session every week with their primary counselor. And depending on what's going on or their length of stay, sometimes it's more often than that. As well. So that's, obviously an important part of our program. We have case management services. Our case manager does a ton of work and works a lot with our clients. So she helps to connect to primary care doctors, dental, eye care, and she also helps to coordinate our psych and MAT appointments. She helps the coordination of all of our medications that our clients have here. She'll accompany people to court hearings if they have court hearings while they're in the program. And she also helps to connect with housing and benefits as well. So so she does a lot. And we love having her around. She, like I said, she helps a lot with our client kind of basic needs stuff. We do provide medication assisted treatment or MAT. And so this is through a referral process. A client would meet with a nurse and the doctor, and they are able to start the medication while they're in our program. So we offer Subutex or Vivitrol as our MAT. And psych services work fairly similarly. So we have a psychiatrist that comes into our program, and that's also through a referral process. Our clients can meet with a psychiatrist and be prescribed medication that they may need. Our nursing services, we have a nurse that is in our facility multiple times a week. So she'll do kind of just general check-ins with the clients. If a client has a physical complaint or a medical complaint, she'll take a look at that. And she also does like educational groups around physical health stuff as well. We have employment services. So we actually have an employment specialist that is embedded into our program. So she's with us 40 hours a week. She runs groups and individual sessions. Our peer recovery supports, we have peer workers that come in as well. They do groups and meet with people individually. And they're wonderful as well. And they're able to follow the client after they get out of the program. And they can help kind of engage back in services if there's, a struggle with that. And then our community or sober support. So we have 5 different community kind of like self-help groups like AA, NA, Smart Recovery, things like that, that we connect with and have those available for our clients as well. So that's a little bit about our services. Alicia, do you mind going to the next slide? So this is just a sample program schedule. So this is very similar to kind of what it looks like across the board with both of the units. So we typically have our intensive outpatient group in the morning, and that's like kind of the longer group. And so those run Monday through Friday. And then a lot of our educational, employment, employment readiness groups and whatnot happen in the afternoon. And then kind of, during the, the free time or that type of time is a lot of times when we'll do case management appointments, individual sessions. And we've been doing all of our family, family contact visitation over Zoom. And so those also take place kind of around group as well. So like I said, you guys kind of take a look at that. And then our sober supports are all in the evening. And we actually do have a sober support that is doing groups with us on Saturdays as well right now. So yeah, that's our program.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
So just to hit some programmatic highlights, the data that I'm going to share with you around our statistics for the year are encompass the calendar year, January 1st through December 30th of 2020. So it's really a reflection back on just last calendar year, which, as you know, was an interesting year for all of us. So I gave you also this time in this presentation and in the report itself a little bit of the historical year over year, so you can kind of see a little bit of our statistical process over the course of the program since 2015. So this year we had a total of 341 referrals, 217 were men, and 124 were to our women's program. Of that 341 referrals, each individual participates in an assessment to determine their needs and their eligibility for the program. So 219 of those referrals were accepted and became admissions. 57 of those were accepted, but were eventually withdrawn. So they never made it into an admission status. And that can happen for various reasons. There are times when the client, this is a voluntary program, so there are times when the client changes their mind and would rather not spend that kind of time and intensity looking at a treatment process. So some individuals decline the program. And then there are times when the court system makes a referral, we take a look at them, we accept them, and then there are changes in how that decision is made from the court's perspective. So 57 individuals were withdrawn, but we did accept them and they were eligible for the program and could have participated. And then there are 65 clients of that 341 who were denied entry. And so that can happen for various reasons as well. Sometimes their medical situation is rather complex. We do not have medical staff on staff 24/7 to support intensive needs. So there are times when, we are just not able to support clients in that way. We do look at every case on an individual basis. So it's very important that we work as a team. We utilize and talk with our medical director, our nursing staff. We talk with the probation department to try to just understand. We do a fair amount of outreach also to providers that are working with that individual in the community to try to make a good decision. Our goal is really to bring as many people into the program as possible, because we really believe in what we're doing, and we believe that we can really provide some supports to people if they just come on in. So from an admission perspective, we had a total of 201 admissions. And you can see that's a little bit of a drop from 2019. And I will share with you, it's about a 17% decrease in admissions. I do think that our COVID situation definitely impacted how things were moving. So from the window of March to July, we saw, well, we all know there were a number of restrictions at that time. And so we were had some limitations in terms of how we were bringing people in, but we still were able to serve and admit 201 individuals. Looking at the kind of who's here, the primary reason people are here in terms of their diagnostic picture, basically 53% of men and 51% of women have a primary substance use disorder of alcohol use disorder. Now, they may have secondary substance use disorders as well, but this one, their primary diagnosis is alcohol use disorder. When we look at individuals with mental health and co-occurring issues, the primary mental health diagnosis we're seeing in both cases for men and women is post-traumatic stress disorder. The average age range is 18 to 74. And then the average age is actually 38 and 39 for men and women. So pretty broad group of people living together and sharing together and connecting. So you can imagine some of that dynamic that creates on the unit as well. 78% of men and 77% of women had high school educations or higher. That's consistent with what we've seen in the past years. Our length of stay, basically 52% of men and 56% of women are staying a 30-day stay or less. So we're getting just a kind of a 30-day opportunity to really impact and plant enough seeds around recovery and treatment to be able to, hopefully they have an impact and then can continue on with services. This is just a bit of a visual of the substance use diagnosis pictures, men, women. You can see alcohol use disorders represented in the blue here, followed by opioid use disorder in both men and women. And then for the first time, we've really seen a jump in stimulant use disorder, which is, I think, consistent with what we're seeing and hearing in the community. So for the first time, we saw 18% of the women having a primary diagnosis with stimulant use disorder and 10% of men having a primary diagnosis of stimulant disorder. In past years, that has been really kind of almost negligible, less than 1%. So that is, I think, a significant thing that we need to keep watching as we move on with our treatment system. In terms of successful completion, we look at successful completion of individuals who stayed their whole time and were successful in their process. So we have a great consistent rate. This is 90% and 92% over the course of the year. So we're happy to see that consistently year over year. We work really hard to link individuals into treatment when they choose and are willing. So when we linked individuals to our own system into the Batavia site at Clermont Recovery Center, we saw 77% of those individuals, men, and 76% of women linking to the site. And then of those individuals who actually linked and came for their first appointment, we saw 92% of men staying in treatment 90 days later. And that's an increase, actually, that's like a 4% increase from last year. Now, women, they engaged at 90 days at about 79% of the time, and that's a bit of a decrease. So something we'll continue to watch and work with, trying to assure that there's a warm walking handoff and supports in that first 90 days of treatment. Medication assisted treatment. Again, individuals sometimes come into the system with a provider that is not our agency. So we support them in linking back to those existing providers. And then in our own system, of the people who were referred, 79% of the men who were referred continued with us, along with 85% of the women. Our average census this year was 15 for men and 8 for women. This is representing a decrease when we think about an average over time. Again, there's that window of time where we had just some restrictions related to COVID, so we were not able to maintain a census that would normally reflect much higher. Over other years, we've seen this much higher rate. Our average cost this calendar year ended up being about $81.70. In previous years, we were in the $60 range. And currently this year we're on pace for about 65 so far. So we're still early in the year. So again, average cost is really related to the census, which is related to referrals. So we are seeing a little bit of an impact, but we're on the right trajectory. We're seeing our census increasing and staying steady. And then in terms of people who were in our program who successfully completed, we looked at their reincarceration rate. So we saw that about 24% of them were reincarcerated within that first year. In terms of how we look at, hopefully people are benefiting from our program. We believe that they are. We believe that we have an opportunity to have a quick impact on their lives. Sometimes with that shorter length of stay, we're just scratching the surface. So, all right. We do provide employment services, and I really wanted to quickly hit the highlights here. Some people come into the program with employment. So 40% of our clients come into the program having a job. We try to keep that job with them, so our employment specialist works with them to do that. When I looked at our discharge rate and people who left with a job, certainly there's some decreases there. So we wrap services around them. We offer them that ongoing support and employment. And of the people that we referred, 54% of those were willing and participated in that longer term employment effort. We did see some impacts around employment with the unemployment benefits that were available. So some of those clients were eligible for those things and delayed their job search. But we had a good opportunity. We stayed with getting individuals employment in the community. So 29 of those clients on a caseload were employed at the end of the year or had gotten a job. And then the rest of them continue to be involved and they're in a job search. So there's some ongoing efforts there. So Sarah, we have about a couple more minutes, but I want to give you an opportunity to talk about some of the highlights of the program.
Yeah, that sounds good. So our COVID response, there's so much obviously that went into that. So just some of the main points are just the coordination. So we coordinated very frequently with jail administration, just about changes that were going on there, and then things that we also had to implement. We coordinated very closely with probation, just in terms of our quarantine protocols with clients. So, if clients were to present with symptoms, like what do we do? So we had a lot of conversations and kind of came together with probation to figure out that system. We implemented, we were able to offer PPE to all staff and clients. We moved around the units a little bit just to have social distancing more like for the clients as well. We're still taking temperatures daily for staff and clients. And the other major thing that happened is a lot of our programming switched to Zoom. And so all of our kind of supplemental, a lot of our educational groups and whatnot ended up, being over Zoom. So our core staff, we're always on site and continue to be all throughout COVID. But that shift happened, and I'm just kind of looking back on this, really proud of our staff here, and we never shut down for a day. We never missed an intensive outpatient group, and within just a couple weeks, we were running like our full programming. So at this point, everything's back in person except our sober support, so AA, NA, things like that. They're still over Zoom, but so yeah, it's been a big effort, but it's gone well. I think overall. So the other cool thing is that even in 2020, we were able to do some new things still. So we implemented a new evidence-based model, the 7 challenges. So this is it's a harm reduction model, and it's an empowerment model as well. So it provides comprehensive counseling and support to people making, it focuses on the decision-making process. So we've heard a lot of good feedback on that from clients. We expanded our supplemental groups, so just offered more and kind of more diverse topics. And then the last 2 points there are about case management. So our case manager implemented a way for us to track and to have people sign up for Medicaid very quickly when they get in the door. And then also tracking also connection to primary care and dental. So that was a big piece of it as well. And just, in terms of kind of overall client feedback, we always hear every single year when going through the exit surveys, the food, that everyone always complains about the food. And we do use the jail meals, so we're kind of used to that. But the primary thing that we hear in terms of like the positive feedback is my counselor listened to me. Staff really seemed to care about me. Like, everyone from leadership to program aides seemed to really genuinely care about what I'm doing and the progress we're making. So a lot of comments about liking groups, case management services, and also being able to connect to probation before they got out. So just a really consistent feedback along those lines that we're hearing from clients. So I think that's it. But yeah, I just, like I said, really appreciate the chance to talk about the program. So thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate your support. We can take any questions if you have any, but just really grateful to be able to share with you today.
Board, any questions this morning? Hearing none, thank you for joining us, and thank you for each one of you for everything that you do for our citizens in Clermont County who really need your help. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now we'll move on to item F, which is the consent agenda. Board, you've received consent agenda in advance. Are there any corrections or any deletions? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item G, non-consent agenda. We'll start with item number 5. There's a correction on the date this morning, changing from April 21st, 2021 to April 19th, 2021, as I read it. Recommendation that the Board of Clermont County Commissioners adopt resolution number 056-21, resolving to approve payment to vendors in the total amount of $1,678,320.34 as set forth in the BCC approval invoice report for checks dated April 19, 2021, BCC directed prepaid invoices reports and or procurement card transaction report as presented by the county auditor on April 19, 2021, and further authorizing the county auditor to issue warrants for the same pursuant to section 319.16 of the Ohio Revised Code. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item number 6. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 6 is my recommendation, Timothy Dick, Director of Department of Job and Family Services, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to approve the modifications to the child daycare weekly reimbursement rate paid to Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services foster parents, to include an increased rate for licensed child care facilities effective June the 1st, 2021, and will be as follows. For licensed child care facilities, up to $200 per week, and for non-licensed child care facilities or individuals, up to $125 per week.
Board, you've heard the recommendation to approve the modification to the child support daycare reimbursement rates for foster parents. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item number 7, Tim Dick.
Item number 7 is also my recommendation, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to execute the Memorandum of Understanding, including all assurances and certifications therein required relative thereto, by and between the Butler County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the Butler County Department of Job and Family Services, the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, and the Warren County Board of Commissioners on behalf of Ohio Means Jobs Warren County, the fiscal agent for the Workforce Investment Board of Butler, Clermont, and Warren. And this defines the roles and responsibilities of said parties in and as it relates to the Butler County Subgrant Agreement with the Workforce Investment Board, Butler, Clermont, Warren, attached thereto and made a part thereof as Exhibit A, and for Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services to serve as a member of the Ohio Means Jobs Butler, Clermont, Warren Consortium, and in the capacity as the fiscal lead for the consortium, in concert with the request for proposal award and execution of a subgrant recipient agreement by and between Butler County and the Workforce Investment Board, Butler, Clermont, Warren, relative to the provisions of the Ohio Means Jobs Operators Services and Career Services for the Workforce Investment Board, Butler, Clermont, Warren, under the provision of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act for Local Workforce Area 12, attached hereto and incorporated herein as Exhibit A, at no cost to Clermont County, with said memorandum of understanding effective for the period of October 30th, 2020 through June 30th, 2022, with 2 one-year renewal options pursuant to and in compliance with terms and conditions set forth therein.
Board, you've heard the recommendation of Tim Dick. This is a memorandum of understanding, and this involves the WIBBCDW. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? I will make that second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Bachelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Abstain.
Item number 8. Thank you, Tim. Item number 8.
Good morning, Board. Item number 8 is the recommendation to execute a services order form with Verizon Connect, and this will be for vehicle tracking, PTO digital input, driver ID, engine connect, driving style, and a 30-second plotting subscription. We're going to have this for 15 vehicles and 6 power asset tracking systems for 6 pieces of equipment. Those will be our mowers. This is a monthly cost of $379.95 for a 12-month term from the start date, with 1 month renewals until written notice is provided to terminate. And this is contingent upon the release of the purchase order.
Board, you've heard the recommendation of the county engineer presented by Suki Sheets this morning for that service order form contract with Verizon Connect. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Bachelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you, Suki. Item number 9.
Good morning, I'm Lyle Bloom, Director with the Clermont County Water Resources Department, and item 9 is a recommendation to adopt resolution number 057-21, resolving to determine to make improvements relative to the construction, operation, and maintenance of the 9-mile wastewater treatment plant improvements project located in Pierce Township and designated as project number 6402-60171, and in conformance with the detailed plans, specifications, and estimates of cost and financing, is herein ratified and confirmed, all of which shall be paid from one or more of any combination of the wastewater replacement and improvement fund, the wastewater capital improvement fund, any portion of any federal or state grant or loan, should such become available, and or by the issuance of notes or bonds pursuant to section 133.08 of the Ohio Revised Code, and payable from revenues derived from sewer rates and charges levied for the operation of the Clermont County wastewater system, and subsequent thereto, to approve the request advertised for bids pursuant to the plans and specifications, and to authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in a newspaper of general circulation on Thursday, April 29th, 2021, schedule on a non-mandatory pre-bid meeting on Tuesday, May 11th, 2021 at 10 a.m., with bids to be received until 2:00 p.m. local time on Thursday, May 27th, 2021, in the office of the Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia, where they will be publicly open and read aloud shortly thereafter. And this notice will also be posted on the county's website. This project primarily involves installing a new screening facility, and upgrading the group removal system at the wastewater treatment plant. The engineer's estimate for the project is $1,810,000.
Board, you've heard the recommendation of Lyle Bloom, and this is for the improvements that, under resolution number 057-21, and this is for the 9 Mile Waste Treatment Plant Improvements Project. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you, Lyle. Item number
Thank
10.
you.
Phil Pumphrey, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
It's my recommendation as Director Clermont Transportation Connection with the current concurrence of Thomas Eigel, County Administrator, to authorize Claire B. Cochran, President of the Board of County Commissioners, or in his or her absence, any other member of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute the 2021 U.S. Department of Transportation Motor Carrier Identification Biennial Update with the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, relative to the operation of interstate transportation services for calendar year 2021, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein.
Board approved the recommendation to execute the 2021 U.S. Department of Transportation Motor Carrier Identification Biennial Update. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you. Item number 11, Mr. Eigel.
Item 11 is a recommendation to execute change order number 1 to the contract with Garland DBS Incorporated. This was previously ratified by the board on 7/17/2019, and this is for the EMA 911 Communications Center roof replacement project. And this represents a decrease in the amount of $3,749.67 for a total adjusted contract amount to date of $169,533.33.
Board, you heard the recommendation to execute the change order number 1 to the contract with the Garland DBS Incorporated. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
We see a decrease. That's always a nice thing. We don't
Yes,
see
it
that
is.
very
I
often
just-
anymore.
That's a great discussion
So
this
I'll
morning.
definitely recommend that one.
Thank you.
Tom, is all the work done on the,
Yes.
on the roof?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item number 12.
Item 12 is a recommendation to, 1, reject all bids heretofore received on February 25th, 2021 for the Security Upgrades 2021 project, and 2, to approve the request to re-advertise for bids for the Security Upgrades 2021 project in various county facilities, and authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in a newspaper of general circulation on Thursday, April 29th, 2021, scheduling a mandatory pre-bid conference at 9 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th, 2021, at the Clermont County Facilities Management Office, with bids to be received until 2 p.m. local time on Thursday, May 13th, 2021, in the office of the Board of County Commissioners, and they will be publicly opened and read aloud shortly thereafter, and also posted on the Clermont County website. And this is for the renovations of the Auditor and Recorder's Office, as well as the Veterans Office and Permit Central.
Thank you, Mr. Eigel. This is, item number 12 is a recommendation to reject all bids received on February 25th, 2021 for the Security Upgrades 2021 project, and to approve the request to re-advertise for bids for the Security Upgrades 2021 project. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
And Tom, we're requiring that they attend a pre-bid
Yes.
this time.
Yeah, it was non-mandatory last time. We're requiring that they attend this time, so there's no confusion.
Good.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item number 13. Good morning, Mr. McNamara.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is Michael McNamara with Community and Economic Development Department. Before I present my resolution, I know that the Commissioners would want to acknowledge that Total Quality Logistics, Clermont County's largest employer, was just signed with FC Cincinnati for the naming rights for their new stadium. I know that we're all proud to have Clermont County Company's name on the stadium, so I wanted to pass that information to you. Clermont County is a great place for businesses to thrive.
Thank you very much. That's great news.
Thank you.
What's a projected date on that stadium? I know we're in the middle of building that stadium.
Good question.
Are they ready?
Yeah.
They're having their first game, I
You
think.
got the lights on. That's awesome.
Big ring? 2 weeks, yeah, is
2
their first
weeks.
game, yeah.
So item number 13 is a recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, to adopt Resolution 058-21, resolving to approve the execution of an Ohio Enterprise Zone Agreement by and between the Board of Trustees of Miami Township, Clermont County, Ohio, and the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, House Restaurants, LLC, and Ohio Corporation at 5827 Jeb Stewart Drive, Milford, Ohio, 45150, and All Hail the Biscuit, LLC, the developer, at 877A State Route 28, Milford, Ohio, 45150, for the granting of a 50% tax exemption for 7 years on real property improvements made as part of the project, as identified in the referenced agreement. Said exemptions commencing no later than December 31st, 2021, and not extending beyond December 31st, 2028, pursuant to Section 5709.61 through 5709.69, inclusive of that Ohio Revised Code, and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, in consideration of the investment to be made by House Restaurants, LLC, for the creation of the restaurant for the purpose of expansion and retention of economic development, as well as the preservation and creation of employment opportunities within the designated boundaries of the Rural Jobs and Enterprise Zone in the Clermont County, Ohio, and to direct the clerk of the board to forward the aforementioned agreement by and between the Board of Trustees of Miami Township, Clermont County, Ohio, and the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, House Restaurants, LLC, and All Hail the Biscuit, LLC, to the Ohio Development Services Agency, the Ohio Department of Taxation, and the Clermont County Auditor.
You've heard the recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director of Department of Community and Economic Development, and this is to adopt, and the contents as has been read this morning for resolution number 058-21. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for the good news. Item number 14. Morning, Emily.
I have a recommendation of Mary Raines, the Office of Management and Budget. This is for common pleas probation, a supplemental appropriation for their other expenses for $45,000. And this has to do with, it's for some data processing equipment.
Okay. Board, you've heard the reading this morning is presented by Emily Akers of the Office of Management and Budget. Recommendation of Mary Raines to approve and authorize changes in the annual appropriation resolution number 191-20 for the calendar year 2021. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate that this morning. That completes our non-consent agenda. At this time, we're moving to item H, additions to the agenda. Board, do we have any additions this morning to the agenda?
Commissioners, I believe Ms. Curley has a few additions for your consideration, so I'll turn that over to her.
All right.
Commissioners, we have two proposed add-ons for today's regular session. One is regarding the vacation of a portion of Ironton Trees Road situated in Washington Township. And the other one is to consider the vacation of a portion of Ironton Trees Road situated in Franklin Township.
Board, may I have a motion this morning to add both of these items to the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, now that we've put them on this morning, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Okay, Holly, would you like to read
Sure.
this to us?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is the recommendation of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to acknowledge that on March 30th, 2021, the Board of County Commissioners received a copy of Resolution 21-16, heretofore adopted by the Board of Trustees of Washington Township on March 3rd, 2021, requesting the Board of County Commissioners to vacate a portion of Ironton Trees Road, Township Road number 39, situated in Washington Township, as described therein, pursuant to and in compliance with Section 5553-045 of the Ohio Revised Code, to accept the preliminary report of the county engineer dated April 13th, 2021, in and as it relates to the aforestated request, and to establish the date and time, location of the public hearing, therefore, in accordance therewith, public hearing to be held Wednesday, May 12th, 2021, at 11 a.m. local time in the office of the Board of County Commissioners at 101 East Main Street here in Batavia.
Board, you've heard the reading of the first addition to the agenda this morning, which is to vacate a portion of Ireton Trees Road T39, and the date for a public hearing to be held on Wednesday, May the 12th, 2021. This is in Washington Township at 11 o'clock a.m., but the hearing will be here in the office of the Clermont County Board of Commissioners. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Second add-on?
The second add-on is the recommendation of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to acknowledge that on April 13th, 2021, the Board of County Commissioners received a copy of Resolution 2021-49, heretofore adopted by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township on April 7th, 2021, requesting the Board of County Commissioners to vacate a portion of Ireton Trees Road, Township Road number 39, situated in Franklin Township, as described therein, pursuant to and in compliance with Section 5553-045 of the Ohio Revised Code, to accept the preliminary report of the county engineer dated April 13th, 2021, in and as it relates to the aforestated request, and to establish the date, time, and location of the public hearing, therefore, in accordance therewith, public hearing to be held Wednesday, May 12th, 2021, at 11 a.m. local time in the office of the Board of County Commissioners at 101 East Main Street here in Batavia.
Board, you've heard the reading and recommendation to vacate a portion of Ireton Trees Road T39, and this is also involved in Franklin Township. As I understand, it touches on both of these townships. And there will be a public hearing here at the Clermont County Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia, Ohio, on Wednesday, May 12, 2021 at 11 a.m. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, thank you. We have no other add-ons this morning.
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, we're moving to item number I. I'm requesting a motion to go into executive session this morning pursuant to Section 121.22 G1, G3, and G4 of the Ohio Revised Code to number 1, consider the appointment and employment, promotion, or compensation of a public employee or more public employees. Number 2, confer with the prosecuting attorney regarding disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action. And 3, preparing for conducting or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment. Board, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, we're now going into executive session, and we will return as soon as we are finished. Thank you. We return from executive session. No decisions were made. We're now moving to item J, which is county staff elected official discussions. Do we have any county staff or elected officials on today? Hearing none, move to item K. Members, any member comments this morning, this afternoon?
Yeah, just a few there. Just wanted to say, obviously we lost a great hero here in Clermont County yesterday with the passing and the funeral of Joe Witt. And I just wanted to say, it was really done nicely, especially by the Navy personnel and by the Veterans Administration that, did the presentation at the grave site. And I just wanted to say thanks so much to David O'Malley at the Warbird Museum for providing the flyover, with the World War II vintage aircraft, at the funeral home there in Amelia, Ohio. I know he went way out of his way to make that happen, and I thought it really added a special touch, to Joe's family and to all his friends. Obviously he will be greatly missed. He is one of a few of the greatest generation in the world. So, I know as far as this board and myself, we salute the life and the dedication of Joe Witt. So may he rest in peace.
I would just like to say it was an honor to be there and to let his family know that we as the Board of Commissioners, were there to help celebrate his life and to show our support for them. So it was beautifully done, I thought.
Thank you. Our sincere condolences to Joe Witt's family, and thank him for his service, not only to our county, but to our entire country. Mr. Painter, anything else? Commissioner Painter?
That's it?
Anything else?
No.
At this point, then, I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you for joining us today. Everyone be safe and throw some snowballs while you still can.
It's
Little
melted.
addition.
Looks like it's all melted.
Oh, darn.
Oh, it is.